So if anybody's worried about watching football games, I would think they stayed with this one. This was a good Monday night ball game. What a crazy night out there. Fantastic night here at CenturyLink again. The fans were awesome, and everybody went for it. Both sides, both teams played really hard and aggressive and wide open, and it was a heck of a football game. There's a lot of highlights in this game. There's a lot of stuff. I'll just let you guys ask the questions. But as always, we remember how hard it is to win games in the league. And these teams are good. And the Bills were tough as hell tonight. And it was, it was a great finish. And fortunately, our guys were able to hang on. It's a great moment out there for a defense when you have to stop them and you got to keep them from getting in the end zone. And those plays just keep coming. And any one of those plays could lose the game. And the great tension that's going on and the intensity of that is very special for the players, and that's why they take so much pride when you get out of there and you win and all that. It's an excellent win. So a lot of cool things. Go ahead, ask your questions. What do you want to know?
You said all week Russell looked better. It sure looked like that out there.
Yeah, I thought Russ really played a terrific football game tonight. I thought Bev called a great game tonight. We went after it in the throwing game tonight, and that's just kind of the way it stayed. We need to get off the field better on defense. You saw that in the third down things that kept us from getting our opportunities. I don't know. We felt like we really could go up and down the field with how we were playing. But I was really fired up. Russ did bounce back, got a chance to run one in too as well, and all that. So it's good.
Pete, there's probably an assumption there late when you call timeouts. You're saving time for the offense. But how much do you think that kept your defense fresh?
No, there was. I know that the bad challenge that I had, I was just hoping. They took a long time right there to get that decision made, and I thought the best part of it was that the guys did get a break, and so the timeouts do help. You're right. Those guys they're gonna be up there standing and fighting no matter what, but I hope that did help them.
What did you think of Jimmy Graham's?
Oh, Jimmy was phenomenal tonight. Gosh, what a game. What a game. What an incredible player and competitor and all of that. He just continues. He's got every game is a highlight of his highlight film of catches. And the first one was a one-hander. The guy's pulling his arm out. The second one, it would look like another one-hander, and fortunately we couldn't see what was going on underneath that mess. But he made another great touchdown catch. But that was just some of the stuff. He did a lot of great things tonight. There's nothing more fun than watching a guy hurdle somebody like that, an athlete of that kind of stature. It was an extraordinary play, and so he was phenomenal tonight.
The passing game was really on point tonight, but again struggled to run the ball.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that went tonight.
How strange is that as a coach to see your team? You're used to having an advantage in time of possession, and it was almost 2-1 against you.
Yeah, this isn't unfamiliar right now. We've seen this quite a bit, and it's unfortunate. It isn't just running the football; it's converting, and all that, and getting off the field on the other side. You got to get off, and we did not have a good. I don't know what the stats were, but we did not have a good night on third down on defense. And those things fit together, and they factor in. And did again.
When you guys got to training camp, how uncertain?
Yeah, this is just kind of you and me talking. Pretty good.
How uncertain were you about what Jimmy Graham would be able to physically provide, kind of back in August when you're just...
I can't tell you that I knew. I just knew how he went about it, and his attitude and the approach and his mentality throughout the offseason as we would communicate, and all. He was just going for it. He'd never worked so hard. He'd never been hurt like this before, and he just turned all of his focus and all of his dedication and just heart and soul into getting back. He just wanted to be back so badly. So when you were around him, you felt he's coming back. And it didn't feel like there was question. And he never didn't look good. When he got back, when we saw him running, he looked good running around right from the start. He needed to gain strength and some issues, in his movement, but you couldn't really tell. So we saw nothing but really good stuff from him. So when he eventually got back out, and we took a chance the way we handled the IR thing, but when he got back out, he's never looked anything but good. However, in the last 4 or 5 weeks, he made a jump, and it just looked like he looks better physically than we've ever seen him. He looks faster, more explosive, jumping higher than we had ever seen him. So the payoff of all of this hard work was he's in phenomenal shape. He's as lean as he's ever been, and he's just looked great. And you can see it on the field. He continues to just play, lights out football.
You talked about the explosive plays coming back, and it seemed like you had maybe more comfortable calling plays with deeper drops and longer passes in this game. Was there something you saw during the week or something that happened that made you think, oh, we can take? It
was time to go. We talked about it on the plane coming home last week that it was time, and we've been very careful. really, we've been careful and not knowing, what we could, how we would expose Russ, and and he was begging us to do more and all that, but we were just trying to do the right thing by him, and he was doing phenomenal things just to play for the last 2 months. But he felt the best coming out of that game, really, before we hadn't even landed, and we'd already decided what we were going to do, and we were going to go for it. And so what it is really just trusting everybody. We have a very experienced group that we're playing with, and even, I know you don't think of that with the guys up front, but they've been holding their own. Russell and Doug and Curse and Tyler and Jimmy, all those guys, they all make things happen, and we know that they know our game, and we were just kind of holding back, and tonight was the first time we thought that we really said, okay, let's go, and let's let it loose. And we'll in the upcoming weeks, we need to run the football better to make a run of this season and make something out of this season, and we know that. There's no mystery to me, and this is not the format that we want, but it's the format that we have right now available. So I thought tonight was a great illustration of adapting and adjusting during the week by Bev and Tom to get this done and to make the shift we called for, and they did it. You could see it. It couldn't have been more obvious. So hopefully we'll just keep going.
Part of that belief that it was time to go a reflection of where you guys think Russell's mobility is at and how he can escape that on those longer developments?
Yeah, that's really the key factor for us.
You mentioned wanting to get Doug more involved after last week's game.
Yeah, that was great. He came right out of the shoes making plays, and the PI was a huge play, too, big field position change because they had to grab him. He caught that ball. He played great tonight.
Pete, how much are you honestly banking on Thomas Rawls being the answer?
He's going to be a factor. We like T. Rawls. He looks great running. He's going to practice with us this week, which is a kind of a messed up week for his sake in terms of the tempo of this week is a little bit different because of the short week, with the intent that he'll be back practicing ready to go next week.
And then you made the switch to
the week after.
Pro-size in the fourth quarter. Let's talk about
just wanted to see him. We weren't getting enough opportunities. We're still trying to learn, who he is and what he's all about. And if we creep through it again, we're not finding out enough. So we just want to keep pumping him out there and see what he can do. He's played so little for us. We probably don't have 40 plays with the guys since we've been together. So we're just still working. We're trying to get better. We know that we just take the turn at the halfway point here. There's a lot of great football games coming up and a lot of great matchups. We have expectations. We're not just thinking about, surviving games and stuff. We're trying to get our guys ready to help us as we prepare for the finish of the season, and these guys need to play. And so that was an example of that.
Bill played a lot down the stretch.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the film. But we were really excited about Demontre in practice this week. I don't know how he was sitting out there, but I thought he looked pretty active and looked pretty good. And that's just a stupendous job by John to figure that out and find that guy for us because he helped us tonight. I know he helped us. I don't know how effective he was.
The Bills were pretty upset about what happened in the first half.
Yeah,
what was your view of it?
That was unfortunate. Richard saw something and took a jump, and then he got a little bit out of control, and he winds up, rolling into the kicker. I just asked so that you guys can know that the way that was dealt with, it wasn't like you're rushing a kick. Richard felt he blocked the ball and then ran into the kicker. That's what he felt happened. I don't know that. I'm uncertain yet until we see the film, but that's what he thought happened. And once he jumped across, the play was, they tried to blow the play dead, which makes it like an unabated rusher coming and then hitting the quarterback. If unabated guy comes and he continues, he doesn't stop at the whistle and he hits the quarterback, then that's an unnecessary roughness situation. That's what that became. I don't know what they determined on the field. I can't tell you. You guys know more than I do. But I just talked to Dean before he came in here, so I could tell you that. That's the way that was handled. But Richard was trying to block the kick, and he was a little bit out of control, and as you could tell. And it was unfortunate. I hope the guy was okay. We didn't want to hurt him at all.
Did you hear a whistle on the play? Them trying to blow it dead?
No, I didn't know the whistle was getting blown. I was just watching Richard, and I was just curious to see what was going to happen there. I didn't hear a whistle. That doesn't mean it wasn't blown. I just didn't hear it.
From what you've seen from this year's team, I guess what makes you confident they're going to make that turn as far as the running game?
These guys, the guys that we're coaching, where they come from, their background, their resolve about playing together and building this thing. This is a long haul thinking. We've been involved with that the whole time since this season began back in April, and I just don't doubt them. I think we're going to find better football play. We're going to get a little healthier coming up. Cam's coming back next week, which is a great boost to us. Michael's only a couple weeks away now, and Thomas is coming around as well as whatever else happens. But Luke will be coming back. It just feels like that. Russell's finally running. He ran a little bit tonight. it can't be more obvious. I don't know if you guys, I don't read the paper, so I don't know what you guys are writing, but I don't. But you know, we're not the same right now, and we haven't been for 8 weeks. And so that's just the way it is. You know, Russell's an extraordinary football player. You saw the effects of a quarterback that could run his butt off like that. The guy was phenomenal tonight. We couldn't find it. We couldn't get him down. That's what Taylor's all about, and that's what Russell's like. And that factor has not been there. So is it going to be the same? You know, you can keep asking for it to be the same, but it's not going to be. It's not the same yet. And so I'm so impressed and so thrilled to see what Russell has pulled off to make it through this time, to play for his teammates and to play for this team and keep us moving forward and keep us where we are and with a lot of upside ahead of us. That's, I don't know, I mean, I'm going to be optimistic and looking for the good stuff no matter what. And then so take it with a grain of salt.
What's keeping you guys from getting off the field on third down?
I don't know. They're catching the football and making first downs. You know, there's a million things. We'll get better. We led the NFL in first downs until 2 weeks ago. So we fell off. So we'll get better, and we'll come back. I thought our tackling was maybe the sloppiest it's been. But there's nobody harder to tackle than Shady McCoy. There's nobody harder to tackle. He's the most elusive guy that plays in this game right now, in my opinion. And Tyrod Taylor is as hard of a guy as you can possibly play against the quarterback to tackle. And those two guys, they made it hard on us tonight. And our guys were trying, but it looked like a lot of slipping and sliding and slipping off of stuff that we haven't seen from our team. And we don't play those guys again for a while. So we'll see.
You said Chancellor's returning to practice or to play next?
He's coming back next week if he makes it through the week.
Is that the best Tyler's been since the injury? Tyler?
Yes. He'll be full speed one of these days too. He's not quite back yet. He's been phenomenal to be out there and playing and doing what he's doing. And he'll tell you he's fine. We know better. You can see him. He was electric tonight and was a big factor in the game, but he's going to be better.
Back on that field goal play at the end of the half, do you remember if you substituted after the first play and the whistle?
After from the first kick to the second kick? Gosh, I didn't think we did, but maybe we might have switched somebody, but I don't know that. I don't know the answer. No, so the answer is no.
You spent about 20 minutes in pregame going and visiting and shaking hands with all of the servicemen and women that were there. Was that a spontaneous moment or something that you had planned on doing? Because it really got a lot of movement out of those men and women.
No, we had a game earlier in the year when we had a bunch of visitors, you know, from the armed forces and all that, and it just felt compelled. You know, we owe them so much, and they seem neglected in terms of credit and great gratitude and thanks and all of that. And so, I mean, they're all out there and they're all fired up to be there and all dressed up, looking great, you know, and kind of competing who looks better between all the, you know, the different ranks and stuff. And it was awesome. So just to be around those guys is just having fun and trying to share the moment with them because it was their night.
What did you think of Kelsey's game?
I can't tell you that. I don't know enough. I know that we were a little off at times early in the game. We weren't as clean as we want to be in some calls and stuff like that, out of character in that regard. But we settled down nice and finally got back to slowing them down. It looked like we weren't going to stop them, and fortunately we got a couple stops and changed the game a little bit.
As good as Cliff Averill has been for you in the past, is this his best season today?
There's no question. Yeah, he's just on fire. The rush that he makes in the last drive was phenomenal. That moment, that great rush to get the quarterback and to get him on the ground, is one of the plays of the game for certain.
How big was John Ryan's punt right before that?
Man, that was awesome. And the coverage was great, you know. There's Reggie back there. That was great. That was great. They nailed him.
Does the short week affect you guys at all? How do you approach that?
Sure. Yeah, we have to do some things things that we've done before. You know, there's a way, kind of a rhythm to it that we have to adjust. Guys will be off tomorrow, so the coaches are working, and so we just kick into the, you know, short week kind of mentality.
Sorry, just to clarify, but Cam and Lou coming back to practice.
I'm saying that. I'm just being. He should be fine. He told me he's going to make it back, and he did a great job in pregame. He was all fired up and with the guys getting him jacked up, and he's ready to get in there. And but he has to go through the days and survive the days, as we always talk about. But it's going to be an easy week for him to do that. So I'm counting on playing.
Pete, obviously you allow yourself to factor in time of possession as a reason why the defense may not be giving you everything they can give you.
No, I go the other way. You know, I look at it that we got to get off the field, and they're out there because we're not stopping them. You know, I mean, just go right back to the first big third down on 11, you know, we let them get a little corner out and make a first down. That should be one, that's a 10%, 8% shot of making that conversion right there, and we gave them one. And then they go down the field after that. You know, all those 13 plays after that don't count, you know, so don't show up. So anyway, I go back that way, and we got to get off the field better.
Did you see what happened on the block punt?
Yeah, we made an error there.
Anything else?
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks.